How's it going, friends? BB here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are pulling on Metalomew's account. There's a 2x event on the Sacred Shard still, and for another 2 days, we're gonna go through a few Sacred Shard pulls on this channel, you guys. Fruitful little hands. Where would I be without you guys? Today we have a chance of pulling Vizix, and that is what Metalomew wants. Vizig the Noxious is gonna help with AoE burn and poison. From what I understand, he's doing a synergy with Urgrim, who he is building out. So we're gonna hope to hit Vizig, or anyone else for that matter. Any legendary is good today. We have 10 sacred shards to go through, a vision, and a big dream. Hold up, guys. Click the link in the description to become a part of my team and get yourself free Bambus as well as Ugo at level 15. Here is what to do. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't forget to use the promo code Supreme6 to get the amazing Supreme Gillick in addition to Bambus and Ugo. So go click on my link right now and let's crush this together, you guys. Let's immediately start them. Oh boy. What are we gonna hit today? Okay, that is immediately... Vergus! Vergus is good. Vergus is a Scarab King solo machine, and that is his specialty because of his passive here, which places a shield on himself automatically whenever he loses more than 10% of his max HP from a single hit. And every time his HP drops below 50%, he just places a continuous heal buff on himself. Very helpful little guy for a Scarab King. I don't know if you're struggling with that in particular, but here you go. And I'm not sure if you've had Vergus, but he's a lovely champ. He also comes with some ally protection, increased speed, increased defense. A lot of good buffs here. Consider him for Scarab King. Definitely consider him. Moving on. So far, so good. Vergus is a great champion. Ooh, we get another... Oh, Ruella, dude! Oh, those are two really good epic champions! Ruella is great in Fire Knight and in Spider. I've seen her being used in the crazy Cold Heart compositions with just 2 Cold Hearts, a Ruella and someone else. 3-shot Spider. Great champion to have. She fills the turn meters of all allies by 20% and places a 30% increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. She has a triple hitter, which is where Fire Knight suffers from her wrath. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense, then a 25% weaken, and a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. As if that wasn't enough, purely on her A1, she has a triple hitter, and each crit has an 80% chance of stealing 5% of the target's turn meter. Amazing epic champion from the Sylvan Watchers. Definitely, if you have the resources to build out both Vergus and Ruella, they're gonna serve you wonders. When you're building epic-only teams, because you've seen how many times tournaments do that, right? When you're building epic-only teams, these guys, staples. Let's keep pulling. This is good. I feel hopeful today. Speaking about Spider Champions, speaking about Dungeon Masters, we get Ruel the Hunt Master. Wow. Yes, this is an amazing Hexer. I'm gonna read through his skills so you guys can understand the hype. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff for 2 turns, transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target if the target is under a hex. On his A2, he has an AoE that places an extra hit on enemies under hex, will ignore 25% of each target's defense if there are 4 more enemies under a hex debuff. And here, on his A3, he places a 50% increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns and then places a hex debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. There is no conditionality here. No chance, nothing. Just places the hex for 2 turns on all enemies. Places a perfect veil buff on himself for 2 turns and fills his turn meter by half. 50%. And yes, while this skill needs to be booked out for it to land on the 4-turn cooldown, it is mighty fine, you guys. He also has a really cool passive that decreases the speed of enemies under hex by 5% and decreases the resistance of them by 10. of those enemies. I don't like the way this was worded. Also increases the damage that enemies under Hex debuff take by 10% and decreases the value of heals they receive by 30. If there are multiple of the Ruel, the Huntsmasters on the same team, these effects do not stack. Important to note. What is the purpose of the bats flying around him? I don't know. Oh, he is a bat. Well, bat looking. Bat inspired. He is Mothman. He looks like Mothman. Why do you guys dislike him? I promise you, Hell Hades has rated him better than this. He's sitting at F4 in Hell Hades. I'm sure you can find some utility in Spider, in Fire Knight, in all dungeons. He should perform really well, especially Spider because of that Hex. Oh, you can do some fun stuff with this guy. We have 7 more shards to go. We have only just started, you guys, and it's already so much fun. There you go, Bartholomew, Rule the Huntsmaster. Let's see what else we can get you on this account. We have an increased chance to get physics now. This is an epic. Who? Old Gruckus. Old Gruckus. He does look very old. What's his deal? Let's see. Triple slasher on an A1. That's awesome. I really like anything more than a double hitter. Triple hitter. Each hit has a 15% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Good. 15% is not a lot. Even booked out, that's 20. But it is a triple hitter, so at the end of it, oh, you're looking at like a 60% land rate. Something along those lines. Toe the Line attacks one enemy, has a 60% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed. Okay, for 2 turns. Also has a 40% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 30%. This is like a single decreased speed for bosses. This is boss targeter. A3 attacks all enemies. Whoa, has an 80% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack and a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Now this sounds like a Fire Knight guy. Someone, okay, increases ally speed in dungeons by 24%. Yeah, he sounds like he could be great helping Fire Knight. 6 more Sacred Shards. Let's keep pulling. Let's keep them rolling. Let's see what else we can hit on this account today. Another, okay, that is a Visionary. I have a Visionary on my account. Have not built her out yet. She's a nuker helper. She has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. This chance increases to 100 if the target is under a decreased crit rate debuff or decreased crit damage debuff. And I think she brought either one of the two. Oh, both of them! She attacks all enemies and has a 75% chance of placing the decreased crit rate on a 30% and the decreased crit damage on a 25% on all enemies for 2 turns. It is an AoE. Okay, and then you have to unlock her passive. Is that a passive? No, that's an A3. What is wrong with me these days? Places a 30% increased crit rate buff. Okay, she places the good version, the debuffs in buff version on your own champions for 2 turns, and it's all allies, and will fill the turn meters of all allies by 15%. She's a great setup for your nukers to do their job. I'm gonna increase everyone's crit rate, crit damage. Bam, smackaroo, goodbye them. Ally speed in dungeons by 24%. Same aura as old guy. Oh. Never mind, I forgot his name. We have halved the supplies, and I just wanna remember what this guy looked like. We have 20x chance to get Vizig. Was that his name? Vizig. The Noxious. I will rip the band-aid. I am scared. Oh! Flash in yellow, flash in the gold. No! I counted on you! Markith Bloodflock is either some fusible or I used him once or twice and I was like, eh. Oh, he's a reviver. And he places a shield on the revived allies. There, if you have a lack of revivers, there you go. He decreases the duration on all enemy buffs by 1 turn on a chance. And a chance of increasing your own buffs by 1 turn. And also on his A1 has a chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target. On a 50-50, once you book it out, that's a 70%. He's okay-ish. I don't know how many Knights, Revenants, Revivers there are that are better than Rector, but I guess it counts. You're gonna need them for, I know that there are missions coming up with Faction Wars, for the Ramon 2 missions, you guys. So if you are Bartholomew at 1 currently sitting, I just want to take a peek. I just want to take a little peek. Barbarian Crypt, bro. We have to hit you some barbarians. All of these champions don't count. Okay. Let's get our heads in the game. Eyes on the prize. Oh my god. Horden. I don't know almost anything about Horden. Double hitter with an extra turn if the target is killed. Okay, strong decrease attack debuff on a single enemy for 2 turns and heals this champion by 10% of the damage inflicted. Strong increase attack, 30% increase crit rate, 30% increase speed on himself, and when ascended, he is granted an extra turn. Very selfish little champion. All of these increase attack, increase crit rate, increase speed. Do they warrant for Horden? Like, does he hit hard is what I'm asking? Increases ally speed and faction crypts by 20, but that's a banner lord. Okay, so I guess he's not bad. I do have to check his multipliers maybe before I speak. Everything predisposes for this guy to be a really good nuker, but I just don't want to lie to you guys. 2.5 is pathetic. The bloodletter attack, this one, has a 6.5 attack multiplier. It says it's godlike. Could be, but if that's all he does, then I understand why he's rated at 2.5 in Hell Hades. I don't know. I haven't had the chance to play around with the Horden. I haven't got him at all. Don't know what it's like. 3 sacred shards and a vision. We already pulled a legendary, but what are the odds that we pull another one? And it is Vizik, the Noxious. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, it is Mighty Yuka! Oh my god, that is ultimately so much better, dude! Are you for real right now? Are you kidding me? Uko just came unannounced to this account. He's gonna bring you all the booze that you ever need. He's gonna revive all allies with 40% HP, then places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn and an increased speed. Even if there are no dead allies, this increased speed is put on all allies. And that is just the hidden skills that Mighty Uko brings. Things that people take for granted in Arena, which is where this champion shines the most, from what I know, from what I've seen. Listen to this, you guys. Here is what makes him so fearful. Attacks all enemies twice. Each hit has a 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Each hit on all enemies on a double hitter on such a high chance is a guaranteed important buff strip. He also places a block buffs debuff and a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns on the targets that have no buffs after the attack. If this is a complete buff strip, he's gonna block everyone's buffs. On his A1, he's gonna place a strong decrease attack on a 50-50, 75 when you book it out, on an AoE, and on his passive, he has a 50% chance of stealing 1 random buff from a random enemy each time a buff is placed on the enemy team. Will only attempt to steal 1 buff for each type of buff placed simultaneously. For example, only 1 random buff may be stolen if 3 shield buffs are placed at the same time. Any stolen buffs become protected. Become protected! You cannot take them away from Uko. It's insane! And his aura gives him speed in all battles by 20%. So now you can finally hide behind the block damage like me. It is my absolute favorite strategy in Arena. Block the damage, bring them down, block their buffs, and then nuke them as hard as I can. I think you can do some mighty fine combinations with Uko and your Fighty and whoever is involved with poisons exploding and detonating. This guy is a great support. Skinwalker, for that matter. Look at the beer in the back. Isn't that incredible? I say cheers to this. I hope you're watching this with a pint of beer next to you, Bartholomew, and I hope you're cheering on. This is incredible. This is amazing. This is so good. You have no idea. Honored to be doing this on your account today, man. This is just... Ooh, we get the bear! We get Urson Ironhide too! He's a really solid champion as well. This is an amazing shard pull, you guys. We're just pulling some really helpful champions here on this account. A chance of increasing the cooldown of one of the target's skills by 1 turn at random. It is a single hitter. And it is a small chance, but you can book it up to a 50-50. On his A2, he's gonna attack 1 enemy twice. Each hit has a 75% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 5%. Decreases the turn meter by 10% instead if the target is under a decrease attack debuff, which, you guessed it, he brings on an AoE with a good chance once you book that skill out. And it is the strong decrease attack version. And it is for 2 turns. Urson Brutality. Each hit has a 50% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 7.5%. Each hit also has a 50% chance of putting one of the target's skills on cooldown if the target is under a decreased crit rate debuff, which he does not bring, but we just pulled you a champion that does. And I'm sure that it's still gonna clutch every once in a while, but once you do book him out, that becomes a really reliable turn meter decrease, I think. Urson is also really cool. He's just a bear. And I know you're Canadian, and that is very funny. I find that hilarious, actually, that you pull a bear. I pull you a bear. Last Sacred Shard, and we have to put an end to this magnificent Sacred Shard pulling session. Let's see what this last one gets us and sit and appreciate the journey. Huh? Spider. I didn't even know that there was a guy named Spider. He looks like he was one of the first champions in Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, and I really do want to read the skills before I judge. He has this, okay, 50% chance of removing one random buff from the target. It budges up to 70? Math. Attacks all enemies, decreases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. Okay, on all allies, and has a 50% chance of placing a weak decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Okay. Okay. Oh, that becomes strong when you ascend them. That's okay. That's nice. Damage is based off attack and HP, and he is a support champion. He's labeled as support. Has a 60% chance of placing a strong decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Just places it, he doesn't hit them or anything. Has a 30% chance of placing a 15% weaken debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Okay, but he just places it. He just marks them. I understand. He doesn't really hit them. He hits them here. It can't be really a big hit, no? He's just to place that decrease attack and decrease their buffs. Ally speed in dungeons by 25% is low-key crazy. Like, it's a good speed. Good speed up for the Dark Elves faction crypt. And that is it, you guys. We actually managed to hit you 2 legendaries, but not a single Visig. Not a single Visig. But I do want to open them and marvel at them once again. Let's order them. Roll the Huntmaster and Mighty Uko, guys. Well, if you get... Wait, do you have Clan Boss? Can I pull your shard? Oh, I can open your chests and see if we get another... You know what? You haven't given me clearance to do that. I'm not gonna do that. You might want to sort out the gear that you're getting from this. But hey, if you can pull yourself 1 or 2 Sacred Shards now, if you get some from the Clan Boss chests, let me know if you managed to get them. But I'm still happy that I pulled you 2 legendaries, and now you are just this much closer, man. I hope you like your new Legos. Mighty Uko is my personal favorite out of those that I pulled you, and you actually got some really good epics out of it too. You guys, you can always arrange with me to pull your shards on a 2x, on a progressive, on whatever event you want, as long as you arrange with me from a little bit in advance. You can find my Discord link down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Bye!